let's gonna install the Python. How you can install the Python? And we need to install some kind of IDE named as Visual Studio Code. Okay. How to install Python is very easy. You need to you need to just go with the same kind of steps. Maybe who are aware, that is okay. You just go to the Python download. Okay. Official website, we have download Python, and from here you have this kind of button available. Click on this button and an executable file will come in front of you. Start this download. Okay, it already exists. Okay, download. Okay, so it will be get downloaded. Then you, where is that? Let me show you one very important thing. Give me a minute. Okay. If I will click on this particular file, it is coming. It is like coming like this. Okay, maybe let me uninstall first. In my PC already there was Python, and that was the reason when I was writing down the Python, I was going to the interactive interpreter. If you will hit the Python into your PC, and if you don't have the Python available, you will be prompted up with an error. So for the same, you need to install Python onto your PC. Just allow some time. Let me install it. Let me see again. Okay. So when you will click on install Python, you will be prompted up with such kind of screen. Kindly do remember, whenever you are writing down, whenever you are installing this, okay, do not forget to click on this button. This is saying add Python 3.10, whatever version we have, to the path. And what does that mean? That means nothing but into your Windows path, this particular path, C, user, HP, app data, and blah, 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 blah. It will be get stored. And when you wanted to invoke Python, window would be aware that, okay, where the Python is installed, and window will not ask any question, or it will not throw any kind of error that I don't know where the Python is. Otherwise, each and every time you need to go to this path, and then you can run with Python. So please remember, click on this button and it will add the path automatically. Although you can add this path later on also, but there is different steps you need to follow. Maybe how to add path. Let me check if I can able to find out. Where was that add path? Okay, click on this and install first. Maybe I will check on that and I will let you know. In Windows, you can add the path later on also. Okay, let me see quickly how to Windows. Control panel, environment variables. Okay, let me go to the advanced setting. Advanced setting, no. Environment variables. I just wanted to show you one. Environment variables. Yeah, here you go. Let me just present you. Kindly open. There you go. Okay. Environment variable. Edit system variable. Where is system? Environment. Okay. Can you see this path? Edit. And if you see, this path is added over here, Python 310, whatever I was showing you, right? There are different other parts also available. Okay, but this path will be added into your Windows machine so that you need not to make changes again and again, or you need not to go to this particular path to run down your Python script. Python is successfully installed. What is the way to check? Go over here, write down Python. It will say that, okay, 3.10.2 is there. Okay, when it is installed or when it is released, maybe it is talking about each and everything, and whatever the things are there, it will be gonna talk. Whatever you want to run, you can run over here, all of the programs. Any question so far? No? Okay. Then any program you can, if you are writing down any program, okay, you can run that, or you can create that program even on the notepad also. Even on the notepad, you can create that program. But let me tell you, if I need to present out to you some data, I can present in the format of PDF, I can present in the form of text file, I can present in the form of maybe PPT, maybe Excel, but it depends what kind of data I need to give you. And on the nature of that data, I need to use different things. Similarly, for Python, we required IDE. I will be going to talk about those IDEs. Maybe you can say some kind of softwares or some kind of programs that will handle or that will talk about more, that understand more about my language. So we will be using Visual Studio Code throughout for creating the programs. Why? Maybe later on I will be going to explain why. Okay, but for now, just understand that we will be going to install that. How to install Visual Studio Code download? Go to the official website, whatever version you have, OS you have, as per that. Install. I have Windows. I have already installed it. So let me open it and let me show you Visual Studio Code. Give me a minute. Okay. Maybe last time I created this program, right? So file not found. Okay, it's found it. Leave it. So this is your Visual Studio Code. First time you need to click on this extension. Here you need to search for Python. Like, can you see Python? I have already installed, but onto your PC, it would be a bit like this. Python, and there should be an install button. Click on that install button and Python extension will get installed like this onto your Visual Studio Code. Very basic prerequisites these are, okay, which you need to perform whenever we need to create any kind of programs. Any questions so far?
We need to install Visual Studio also.
Yeah, this is free program, by the way.
Okay. I have installed it. Python I have installed it, but would like to get this extension. How would we?
Right. Just go for the extension, create it. We have different other also, like Sublime, X3. We have PyCharm, Anaconda. Maybe lot of IDs are there. But for the basic classes, I would say you go for the Visual Studio Code.
Can you show again where to go?
Nothing, just search for the Visual Studio download and it will prompt.
Okay. All right.
Visual Studio Code download and just download it. Download. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Let me go ahead. Now onto the screen, I am, giving you the examples about the variables. So here, if you see, because these are very basic class, I am giving some kind of irrelevant object name. Yes, Kishore, you have any doubt?
One doubt from Visual Studio Code. How can we access the Python?
Don't worry,
I
I will
install
show
the
you.
install the Visual Studio Code.
And extension, have you installed Python extension?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will talk about that later on. Don't worry.
Okay.
So if you see here, I am giving the object example. Please ignore the name for the few classes because I am just using the name so that you can able to cram that what are those things. Like left hand side will always be the variable. Whatever we are writing down over here, this kind of thing is known as assignment operators. We are assigning a value, and right hand side is always an object. So object can be have any of the data type. It can be a string. It can be of integer. It can be of list. It can be of dictionary. Different things. So whenever I am writing down this line, please try to understand left hand side and variable, right hand side and object. Object has some of the data type. In this case, it should be integer. So there is a variable name 5, value is there. There is another variable 5 value is there. If I need to do something over here, I can achieve this kind of task. Now, let me show you this task. You can either very simple thing. If I am having A equal to 10, B equal to 5, I'm not doing anything. I'm just multiplying this thing and it is giving me the answer. Maybe if I'm multiplying by 2, further that value, I am giving those answers. So A is a variable, 10 is a object. That object is of which type? The data type is integer. Okay, and I'm multiplying those integers. There are different operators for different data types. So when I am gonna explain about the data types later on, I would be gonna talk about each and every data type. You should be aware, okay, what are the data types, how we need to learn those data types, because in our bigger programs we need to use such data types. Here you can see into another example. I am giving you different, name. You can take any A, B, C, whatever you want. Okay, although the name should be good, it should be the naming convention should be great. Okay, but just for the basic classes, we can use anything. Here, variable string 1. I am storing something. This is known as a string. And when you need to store string in Python, you need to be enclosed by double quotes or single quotes. And the same thing you can able to see over here. Either single or either double, whatever. Be stick on that. One string is welcome to. Second string is Python quotes. If I am using the same kind of plus sign over here, if I will use 5 plus 5, the value will be 10. Here, if I am adding, it is showing me welcome to Python string. This is something known as string concatenation. It means different data types behave differently with same kind of operators. Operator 5 plus 5 is giving me some 10. It is adding the number. Here the same operator is concatenating the string. We cannot add two string, right? We can concatenate it. So it is adding the two string. So as I was talking about, the Python language is OOP, object oriented programming language. So it very much focused on the objects. And that is the reason why we need to be focused on the object type. Here you can see an example when I need to add two of the, maybe I am picking up from one from the integer, one from the string. It will just throw an error that no string and integer objects cannot be added. Python is aware. Whenever you are storing it, as I was showing you earlier with the type function, that yes, it can be it is understanding like, okay, what kind of variable, sorry, what kind of object that type is there into this particular variable. So just to explain the same thing over here, I have a equal to 10, b equal to, maybe I am just using a string Python, and if I wanted to add a plus b, you can see the same error what I was explaining over the screen. The same error will be appeared over here, and it is saying no, you cannot add those two things. But if b, I am just giving any value, maybe 100 or 1000, and if I wanted to add again these two terms, it is giving me the correct sum. A is 10, b is 1000, it would be 1010. Okay, bit like if I'm using underscore plus maybe 10, it is saying whatever the last value, underscore means whatever the last value in the interpreter, just add that to the 10. It is showing you 1020. Again, different terms. Some terms would not be useful for us. I will be not going to touch those things. I'm just showing you like how we can use the interpreter. Once Python is installed onto your PC, you can maybe check these very basic programs from your PC itself. You need not to make very big labs. So far, any doubt from anyone? Any question? Anything?
Radhaji, can I say integer, like for integers, it's taking as a numbers and a string as a kind of a words, something like that, or
no, that's true. Even I would be going to talk about those
okay.
in our tomorrow's class.
Okay.
But for now, maybe you just think about that. You are having the correct understanding.
Okay. Yeah.
Because string has a lot of functions which you need to be aware of. So those functions we need to understand, because mainly when we are writing down any of the program. So let me not talk about the program. Let me talk about, everyone is aware about Cisco, right over here. If I am just running this command show run, whatever output is coming, that is what? That is nothing but the string. And from Python perspective, I need to manipulate this string. So I should be very much aware about these data types. String. Maybe all data types are important, but string is maybe maximum times from a program you are not writing down any string is next to impossible, because even show run, if you are running this command through the Python, this is what? String. Getting this point?
Yeah, understood. Thanks.
Pradeep, I have one question. Now, suppose if we want to concatenate a string with a special character, like hello world, in before and end of the string, can we append a $$ or some special character?
I don't know why $sign is required.
Oh no, I'm just a question.
See, like, if you are using any of the character, maybe any of the character, and if you're using these double quotes, it will be treated as a string. Even if you are writing down 1, 2, and you are putting like that, it will be treated as the string.
Okay.
It's not the number now.
Okay.
Because Python has a syntax, and Python say it is under the double quotes or the single quotes. It is a string. We will be going to talk about it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Now, one thing with not with respect to the this Python, but with respect to the class, guys. Okay, my time 17:05. I will start the session. Okay, from tomorrow, please be punctual who were not today, because it was the first class for some people, so that is perfectly fine. We waited for 17:10, but from tomorrow, my time, Indian time 17:05, I will start. I will take a break approximately till 18. Okay, and it will be 10 minutes of the break. So whatever the sutta break or maybe the chai break or whatever break you want to have, you just go and do all of those works. We will be back after 10 minutes, and then we will be completing this class at the 19. Probably I will be sticking to this schedule, okay, maximum times. So kindly be available tomorrow at 17:05, so that you should not be repeating the same things again and again what other people have done. Okay, so let us take a break today, okay, for 10 minutes, and we will meet again, and we will be gonna complete whatever the work I have designed or for today's class. Okay, we were talking about the objects. So Tony and Kishore, I hope you guys are also there. Tony, Kishore. Okay, maybe they will join us. Let us start. Thank you. So here, let me explain about the data type with some examples on the slide. Even though we talked about the type function, so type is an inbuilt Python function. Give me a minute, please. Only a minute. Okay, so what I was saying is, it is an inbuilt Python function. We will be going to talk about function later on. Just try to understand, this is something which is telling us about what kind of object value is. So object data type is integer, it is float, it is string, or maybe some another thing, whatever it is. Okay, let me show you the real-time example. Maybe let me just open the command prompt. If I am saying a equal to 1, and I wanted to check type of a, it is saying that, okay, the object type of class integer. If I am saying a equal to 1.1, and again check type of a, it is showing me that it is the class of float. If I am saying a equal to welcome, and again check the type of a, it is showing me that it belongs with the string. Maybe if I'm saying a equal to something, maybe we will be going to talk about these things later on, what are these things, but I am just giving some value. Okay, and I am checking the type of a, it is saying that it is list. If I am saying a equal to 1 2 3 4, maybe dot o, okay, maybe welcome, and wanted to check the type of a, again it is showing me that it is something known as tuples. Okay, if I'm saying a is equal to let me give some value like and wanted to check the type of a, it is showing me that it is dictionary. So type is kind of a function, okay, which is going to talk about me that, okay, your variable is containing what kind of data object, what is the data type. So A is what? A is nothing, A is a variable. When I'm saying equal to, it means what? I am assigning a value. Assigning a value. When this value can be of, this is named as object. Object can be of different data types. And what can be the data types? It can be integer, plain number. If there is some decimal value, it can be float. If this is the character of, string of characters, it is known as string. There is something which is included into square brackets. Later on, we will talk about it. List, round brackets, tuples. Okay. Maybe in the curly braces with the form of key and value dictionary. So there can be different data types which can exist, and all of those can be checked with the form of type. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
The last one is the dictionary.
Yeah. Don't worry,
Okay.
we're going to talk about these data types in detail. Okay. I'm just showing you the type function currently, but we will be going to talk about each and every data type in a great detail. Okay. So same thing I am talking about over here, that variable is something, a name, which is, you are using onto your program, which is storing some kind of value. Equal to, as I'm explaining again and again, it is nothing but I am assigning some kind of value. And that value is known as object. Object have different data types: string, float, integer, list, tuples, stats, dictionaries, and number of data types. Then whenever I am, creating a variable, that variable somewhere in my hard disk, I'm sorry, store into a memory. So a memory will be get allocated to that particular variable. And same thing I could see through the id command. So again, this id command is not useful into our programs. Just for the basic of your knowledge, I am just showing you. Okay. Let us say if I am having a equal to 10, and I want to check what is the memory location of a. So this is the memory location of the a into my hard disk. And same memory location should be to this integer 10 also. But if I'm changing the value of a to the 11 probably, and I wanted to match the id of a again, you can see the earlier memory location and the newer memory location is little bit different. But again, as I'm saying you, this is not used into our program. I am just showing you an example that whenever you are storing something, it will be get stored into your memory. That can be checked through the id. Again, id is a function. Okay. We will be gonna use that id. Sorry, we will not be gonna use that id anywhere into our programs later on. But just for the sake of your knowledge, I am telling you. So variable is nothing but bit like your label. Okay. Now, for this particular slide, if you see, what I am explaining over here is that whenever you are using any kind of variable, later on, I need to use some, variable into my programs. Don't use variable like A, B, C, D, bit like that. That does not make any sense. Use some naming convention which is good for your program. Even if you see the variable name, you should be aware, okay, what I am doing. Like there is a list which is stored into the devices. Here I am just using the IP address 10, 10, 10, 1, 10, 10, 10, 2. What is this? A variable. By checking out the variable name, I am aware that I am providing the list of my devices. Maybe I can use commands equal to show IP route, or maybe ping 4.4.4.4, any command. By checking out this variable name, okay, I can able to understand that, okay, I would be, putting out the commands over there. Also, according to the Puppet guide, there is Puppet guide for the naming convention rules. They are saying that avoid your capital I, O, and small I, okay, because these are matching with your IOL or maybe I0L. All of these are interchangeable. So it is better if you are using the single letter and that letter is with maybe I. So you cannot judge that, okay, it is an I or maybe 1 or maybe L or whatever it is. Okay, bit like that. Don't use the single character. That's not a good practice at all. Okay. Then when you are assigning some values, maybe you can assign some values like that also. Okay, what A equal to 10, and you are saying B equal to 10. You are saying C equal to 10, or maybe you are saying A equal to B equal to C equal to 10. Now, if you are making any change into the C, those changes would be done into the A and B also. Not good practice, right? What you can use instead of that, if you wanted to, just give 3 variables value in one go, A, B, C, and these are the value. A will be having 10 value, B will be having 20 value, C will be having value 30. But I would suggest you, whenever you are writing down the code, please write down the code in such a manner that you can able to understand it. Maybe after 3 months, after 4 months, after 6 months, if you have not checked it earlier. Best practice, test your way of writing down. Now, what I was talking about is ID. Remember, I was saying that you need to install Visual Studio. Visual Studio. You can go with Python. You can go with Sublime Text 3. Okay, there are a lot of other available. You can go with any, but I would personally suggest just go with Visual Studio Code into your classes. Rest depend upon you, what you like in later on classes. So ID is what? Let me now show you. Okay, why I am saying. I am opening a notepad, simple notepad. Into this notepad, I am saying print is a function, by the way, where whatever value I need to print, I can put over here. I am printing the value that welcome guys to 2022 Python first batch. This file is not stored anywhere currently. Okay, it's not stored. I am just going to the file, going to the save. Okay, maybe onto the desktop. I am just, I can say that. Okay, first.py. Py is my extension. I need to save all files. First py, save. Okay, this is now saved with the Python. If I need to run it, how I can run it? Let me exit from here. First, I need to go to that particular path. I am just going to the desktop. If I will say dir, I should be having .py file. Where is .py file? First.py. Okay, I need to go with Python keyword appended with whatever my file name is. I am just writing down that file name, and if I am pressing enter, you can see whatever the content is there, that is printed out, that is getting executed by my Python. That is getting executed by my Python. Okay. Same way, if I'm opening the Visual Studio Code, okay, maybe I need to open a file over the desktop. I should have the first file. This is my first file. I need to run this file, and you can see this is getting executed from this particular path, and this is the response. This is my file. So here it is talking about lot of things like, okay, if I later on, if I need to run any of the thing like for and in range, can you see it is giving me a lot of values. Okay, maybe 1 to 100, and I am just writing down something. And when I'm putting enter, can you see I have some space? Why this space is coming? Because from .py from, give me a minute, from .py, where is my pen? From .py, this Visual Studio Code is aware that I am writing what? I am writing Python code. And since I am writing down Python code, there is some kind of syntax. That syntax is saying I should be have some maybe spaces. Maybe later on I will be going to explain about that. But just try to understand that that is the syntax. I should be have the indentation. Even if I forget, the Visual Studio Code not forget. It will, when I am putting the next line, you can see I am putting the next line, it is giving me that space. Print, welcome guys, number, whatever the number is, maybe, and is the number, Control S. I am just executing this path, and you can see it is just, executing those kind of things. Even the output is visible over here also. Okay. So let me just remove all of the other things. Okay, you can see that there is an output over here. You can just remove these things. So this is your Visual Studio Code and IDE. And this IDE, or an integrated development environment, is nothing but it is a software application that provides the comprehensive facility to us as programmers, which help there in much useful way. Like I showed you, it will be talking about that. Okay, if I am writing down the 4, it is just giving some kind of space. Maybe if I'm just, if I'm just write down print, and I'm not aware like what to use. It is talking about that with print, there are a lot of function over there. Lot of function. What you wanted to use? When I am pressing the first bracket, okay, round bracket, I just started it. The close bracket, it picked by itself. I need not to write down anything. I am writing the single quote one time, but it is closing by its own. Why? Because it is aware I am using the print function. And if I am using print function, if I am starting something, it should be ended. It is taken by its own self. Okay, this is taken by its own self. Whereas if I'm going to the maybe over here, and I am writing down the same program for n in range, okay, and maybe 1 to 100, and I am pressing enter. Can you see there is no space? It is myself who need to take care. 1 2 3 4, that okay, what I need to write down, I need to write down over here. Don't see, I don't want to do that. So I can use such kind of thing from here. Control S maybe to save this. It is saved. So far, any question? That is your IDE. Okay, IDE is nothing but it is a software. So IDE is maybe having a lot of it is bit like your editor also, bit like your software also. And by default, when you install your Python, a basic IDE will get installed automatically. That is IDE. And if you will search with IDE, you can open that. But again, that is bit like your interactive interpreter in our command prompt, what we are coming up with the keyword Python. Not useful much. We will be going to use Visual Studio Code. This is the glimpse of your basic ID. Let me just open onto my PC also, IDLE. I am just searching with IDLE. Let it get open and let me show you. Okay, can you see this shell? Bit like your interactive interpreter. You wanted to write down something like A equal to 2, B equal to 3, whatever we use, like A equal to 2, B equal to maybe anything. And if I wanted to see the result A into B, I'm getting the result there, then and there only. If I need to write down some command for n in range with 2 to 50, okay, and I am just doing something. Can you see it is also giving me the same thing there. And if I'm putting enter, it is giving me the response over there, but it is bit like your interpreter. The same thing I can achieve in the command prompt. Same thing. If I'm going to the Python, I'm going into the interactive interpreter for and in range 2 to 23, anything I am putting 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I need to give some kind of space by my own. Okay, hello, and maybe let me close this. I'm putting enter. I'm just having the hello as my for loop is working. Again, don't worry about the loops. Loop we will be going to talk about later on, but this is something I'm going to talk about, interactive interpreter, about the built-in ID, about what ID we will be going to use, how we will be going to use. I'm a bit concerned about those things. Any questions so far? Okay, I hope not.
ID is interactive development environment.
Right.
Integrated.
Yeah. Integrated development environment.
Okay. Okay.
Interactive interpreter I already talked about. I'm showing the interactive interpreter from the starting of our class. Like it can be invoked by your CMD command prompt, maybe your PowerShell, okay, or maybe through the IDLE. You can just use any of the program as per your choice, okay. And it is nothing but it will give you like if some small kind of programs you need to write down and you need to get the values of the small programs then and there. In those cases you guys would be able to use this part.